So recently I've gotten over 3,000 subscribers on my channel. Honestly, I didn't even know until I just poked around some stats on my videos. But without looking, I'm going to go on a limb and say the majority of those come from my top view videos, which are all recreations. Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, or the most viewed one, which is a recreation of somebody's own Sonic video. However, I don't really do recreations anymore. I focus my attention towards my own Sonic fan series, Spinning Egg Zone. I guess the term fan series is a little misleading. For the 12 of you who actually follow the series, you know it could be cruel to Sega, Sonic Team, the characters, and even fans themselves. In many ways, it chooses to both point out a lot of issues that plague the series in a personified way, while also defying expectations. Expectations of what a lot of fans use as a joke. For instance, rather than make the Shadow is Edgy joke, we choose to represent him as Francesco, the actor behind Shadow, who is an over-the-top method actor.
Amy, please! We've talked about this. You know that Shadow is my stage name. I'm Francesco!
Right.
Amy, I need your help. I heard they're making a Shadow 2.
I really don't think so. Where did you hear this from?
I have my sources. A news site known as The Onion. I, Francesco Rivera, need to tap into the Shadow character once again. You are the most manly and edgiest person I know, Amy. I need you to help me get my edge back. I will be Shadow again. Take me under your wing. Train me. Give me your musk.
My musk?
Your stench. Your manly stench. I need it.
Hey, get
I will
off
be
of
Shadow.
me! Hey!
This is who I am.
But being actors, overall, is the point of Spinning Egg Zone. Almost every actor is different from the character they play. Sonic is showered in money due to his contract and lacks any form of empathy for anyone. He cares for himself and only himself. I was run down through the constant crap he gets. He's very level-headed, but he always has to struggle. Tells an annoying squeaker, an edgy, Mountain Dew swelling Call of Duty playing teenager with pent-up aggression over Sonic. Amy is a feminazi. The man-hating Tumblr chick who, much like Tails, can find her issues rooted to Sonic. As for Team Chaotix, well, Vector is a level idiot and a single father of Charmy. Vector's brother, Espio, is a mafioso who doesn't say much. So from Blaze, well, let's just say they're far from what you would expect.
Beautiful, not violent, girlfriend, she doesn't beat me at all.
We've already mentioned Shadow, so what about the rest of Team Dark? Omega we'll save for a later date. Rouge is a social worker and married to Professor Big, a highly intelligent therapist. Together, they're working to adopt Cream, who, for the most part, is fairly close to her game incarnation, except she's really intelligent due to the constant education provided by the Big family. There's more characters, obviously, and some are yet to be introduced. Some are not even related to Sonic Team or Sega. But perhaps the most unique character is Takashi Iizuka, the tear-drinking, toast-eating, terror-raising Dark Lord of Sonic Team.
Oh, and Iizuka wants you to take this.
It's the most wonderful time for some tears.
He said he had a good feeling.
Iizuka, aside from his toast quirk, is kind of the only character I knew exactly what I wanted from the start. That said, there's a lot of differences that hit the series over the original idea than you would expect. For instance, the overall theme of the series has changed. And I don't mean it's changed in the sense that I wasn't meant to be poking fun at the series, the fans, and Sonic Team. But it was largely a buddy series. Originally, it was meant to be Sonic and Ivo, actual friends, going on misadventures. You know, that's where the name Spinning Egg Zone comes from. Because the idea was about Sonic and Ivo as dual protagonists, the term spinning represented Sonic, and obviously Egg was for, well, Eggman. Zone was meant to be related to the Sonic series, sounding like an old school level. But then, Sonic was more kind, if a little strong in his opinions. And Ivo was still nicer of the two, but he was a lot more optimistic than he is now.
I swear, these stories are starting to look similar.
Could be worse. We have to deal with less monsters of the week.
Yeah, just less.
Aside from that, the other characters weren't really planned to be serious beyond maybe a few cameo appearances. But it was always about Sonic and Ivo. They were meant to branch out, talk to other characters from different series, maybe get fired and try to find odd jobs. Spinning Egg Zone Episode 1, Tears, is probably the most faithful to this idea. And that's why it feels very different from 2 and 4. Well, Episode 3 is probably the actual black sheep of the entire series, but we don't talk about Episode 3. At least until later. But Episode 1 featured a lot of what I wanted the series to originally be. I know I'm talking about a lot about differences, and people seem to think that something different from the original conception is always bad, which isn't true. When I began speaking to Martin Liz, the voice actor of Ivo and Vector, Spitting Egg Show became a group project, and honestly, that's for the better. Martin came on board when I messaged him to play Ivo in Tears. He liked the script so much, he decided to recruit LJ to play Sonic and Iizuka. After a long while of inactivity, I finally got around to making that first episode, and near the end, messaged Martin to tell him that first episode was actually going to be made. We began to communicate more regularly, and together expanded the idea. I'll admit, at first, when he started to suggest some gradual changes to the series, I was slightly reluctant. Then, after thinking about it, I accepted some of the ideas, shot some other ones down, altered some, or brought up an entire alternative. Some he liked, some he didn't. Sometimes he altered my alterations, or I'd bring up fresh ideas and the cycle would go on. This began a creative process where I felt we started to actually get some great ideas.
You went to college?
Oh yeah, I threw some of the wildest parties. Thing was, Eggy was always more focused on his studies. He had this weird machine in our dorm, and I thought, hey, I could use this for a beer keg, and...
You ruined my life, Sonic. You ruined my project, set our home on fire, and got us both expelled.
On the plus side, it made for some wicked fireworks, right, old buddy?
We're not friends right now.
Martin and LJ eventually introduced me to Pinkshuchan, who plays Amy in Rouge, as the second episode was being written. These three became a bit of a council for me. While yes, I do have the final say, after all this is my series, I often look towards them and their opinions on ideas they had or I had. The second episode gathered a large cast, and this was expanded further down with 3 and 4. I like to take some time to recognize the current voice actors and their role. Martin Liz, voice for Ivo and Vector.
A paid scientist came to me. I was going to be a scientist until someone burnt down our door.
LJ 7117, voice of Sonic, Iizuka, Francesco, and Professor Big.
Just a few more hours. You can do this. A few more hours and you never have to see him again.
Pinkshuchan, voice of Rouge and Amy.
In the whole park.
Whole park?
The ballpark carries way too much masculinity.
Probably gonna ruin this one, but Ran Maroto, voice of Knuckles.
Oh, I took up anger management classes with Professor Big. I write poetry now. I made one about the Master Emerald. Glowing green, beige gem. However, it glows no more. In the Dark Lord's nose. That was my poem. It's a haiku. I think it's pretty good.
Meredith White, voice of Tails.
Finally, someone who appreciates skill!
AzureBlend, voice for Cream.
Miss Rouge, they're nice. They feed me, take care of me, help me with my homework. I don't want to leave, but some nights are loud.
Axis, voice of Sally.
March 16th, 2006's memo. Before departing, Yuji Naka drafted a new contract guaranteeing Sonic an annual salary of $3 million, in addition to a wellness spending, granting access to $10 million of the company's treasury so he can perform to peak efficiency. It's ironcladded, so...
Kirikai, voice of Silver.
You didn't see Blaze, did you? She doesn't like it when I take longer than I'm supposed to for my bathroom breaks.
Manny Williams, voice of Blaze.
I like to watch people burn to death.
And Vice GT, voice of Metal Chronic.
Oh, you care if I smoke in here? Fuck it, I'm doing it anyways. Already lit.
While these particular characters may or may not be voiced in the future, it would be unfair to not include them. John Geist, voice of the interviewer for Spinning Egg Zone Episode 2.
We have a lot of questions for you and some of your fellow cast members. We wanted to get to know the real Sonic.
Corrupted One, voice of Gamma.
He moved on to serving more practical needs.
Ha! Practical.
Why am I still programmed to feel pain?
Mendel Jew, voice of Morgan Wisman.
Arvo, it's not your fault. It's what we were made to be. It's how we're meant to be. Our race has known nothing but scripted torture and E-rated death. But our story will live on. Our strength will be shown for years to come by our history, from how those will remember us. We will not go gentle into that good night. Please, Arvo, let the world...
Tom Shock, voice of Caveman Mighty.
You're not gonna believe this. It's from the top tyrants themselves, Sega. Or, as I like to call them, sucking eggs galore assholes.
Pekka Slimmy, voice of Stan Everyfan.
Who?
Deathkill, my OC, and me, being your biggest fan, knows exactly the way things should be. Deathkill is sent from the future, and is the grandson of Mephiles and Rouge, right? He has 3 super forms, and is fast as you, as smart as Tails, and strong as Knuckles. He's dating Tails, but also loves Amy. Oh, and he killed Eggman.
Of course.
Thank you all for your amazing work. These people, whether directly suggesting ideas, giving phenomenal performances and improvisations, have been supporting the future of Spinning Egg Zone. Which brings me to the question, what is the future of the series? While I don't believe Spinning Egg Zone will ever gain any real popularity, I definitely want to continue working on something that I love. I feel that Spinning Egg Zone is a unique show among other fan parodies, and I'm happy working on an artistic piece. However, I do appreciate the views that we do get. I really want to have 4 shows running at once. Show 1 will be, of course, Spinning Egg Zone. This will be made to Source Filmmaker. Each episode will usually last 10 to 15 minutes in length and will eventually start to have a story arc, although rather loose. There will be some emotional moments mixed into the comedy. As of now, I'm the sole animator of the entire series. Episode 5 is being written. The second show is Spinning Egg Shorts. There's already an episode 1 out. These are mini episodes ranging 3 to 7 minutes in time and allows to explore the world and characters in a quicker fashion. It'll be written and voiced by the same people. However, rather than animation and 3D models, it'll feature art. The art is currently being drawn by Chowgirl, but perhaps there will be future artists to join us. We are currently working on 5 shorts. The third show is Spinning Egg Lore. While undecided on the presentation, this should feature background information of characters, groups, locations, things like that. When writing, we tend to have an understanding of the background of certain things. I feel it would be nice to have a set of videos that give context to the viewer. The fourth show is Behind the Spinning Egg. Videos like this. It should allow us as creators to discuss things like episodes and why we design some characters in a specific way. The whole creative process, things like that. Animation does take a while, but I'd really like to start releasing more material than a video every couple of months. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully the future of Spinning Egg Zone is a productive one.